Hello everyone, welcome back to another Kacademy video. This is lesson 6 of our GCSE math series, and in this lesson we'll be discussing the conversion between fractions, decimals and percentages. This is really important for your GCSEs because in your GCSEs you will have to do these conversions in just minutes, and most of the time literally in just seconds. That's why we're going to spend 2 minutes just on this. Let's get straight into it. So, first up, we have converting fractions to a decimal. Well, in order to do this, all you have to do is just divide. So, and if you're a bit unsure, I'll just explain this to you. What you have to do is divide the numerator by the denominator. So say we had 7 over 20. What you have to do is that you'd have to divide the 7 by the 20. So you do 7 divided by 20. And that would give you 0.35, and that's your decimal. So in order to convert a fraction to a decimal, all you have to remember is divide the top number by the bottom number, the numerator by the denominator, and it will give you your decimal. Next up, let's talk about percentage. So what you have to do is just times your decimal by 100. So say we have 0.35 here, what you have to do is times it by 100. So we move the decimal place 2 places, because there's 2 zeros, and that gives us 35%. And well, converting a decimal to a percentage is easy. Just remember to move the decimal place 2 places to the right. Okay, now let's do a decimal to a percentage. So in order to convert a percentage to a decimal, we just have to do the opposite of what we did up here. And that is divide by 100. So we got 35. If we divide 35 by 100, that would give us 0.35, like we can see here. So in order to convert a decimal to a percentage and a percentage to a decimal, just remember you have to times by 100 and divide by 100. It's just really simple. But this is where things get a bit more tricky. It gets really tricky when you have to convert a fraction to a decimal, because you can't just multiply the two numbers, because that would give you a number, not a fraction. So that's why we're going to talk a bit more about this. There are 2 ways you can do this, and there are 2 different methods you need to learn in order to convert a fraction to a decimal. And therefore the 2 different types of decimals: terminating decimals and recurring decimals. In the second lesson of this series, we talked about different types of numbers, and we mentioned terminating and recurring decimals. So if you're a bit unsure, just go watch that video straight after this one. Okay, let's get straight into it. So converting terminating decimals to fractions, it's fairly easy. So what you have to do is that you have to put the digits after the decimal point to go on the top and the power of 10 on the bottom. If you're a bit unsure, then let me just show you. So say we have 0.6. So we have to do the numbers after the decimal point. So the numbers after this point. So all the numbers that come after this point. And since there's only 6, we just do the 6. And since it's only 6, we'll put the 6 on the top, because all the numbers after the decimal point, like I said, are going to go on the top. And for the bottom, all we have to do is see how many places it's to the right. So it's 1 place to the right. So we need to move the decimal point 1 place to the right in order to turn it into a whole number. So there's only going to be a 1 0, so just 10. Now you're probably a bit confused. How do I do 0.12? Well, it's fairly the same procedure. So what you have to do is that you have to put the 12 on top, because the 12 comes after the decimal point. So the 12 goes on top. See how many decimal points you have to move it to the right in order to make it a whole number. And that's 2. So there's 2 zeros. So it's 100. 10 to the power of 2. So just think of it as 10 to the power of something. Since there's only 1, 10 to the power of n. And n is equal to the amount of places you need to move the arrow to the right in order to turn it into the decimal point to the right in order to turn it into a whole number. But you can just make this fairly easy. So like you got 0.7. It's 1 to the right in order to make it. So 10 and 7. And you'll get more used to it. Like over time. You say you got 1, 6, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Say you got like a humongous number like this. You can just quickly just count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you do 6, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 on the top, and you just do 1 million on the bottom. So you can just do it for any decimal practically. It's not really that hard. You just have to like so it's really easy. That's why it's really easy, because you just have to count the numbers after it, put the other number on top, and do it. So I'll highlight some certain things if you're a bit more unsure. So this number that goes here, these numbers will all go on the top. And the amount of numbers that there are to move the decimal point, well, that'll correspond to the amount of zeros. So it's fairly easy. But then there are recurring decimals. Recurring decimals, just to give you a quick preview, recurring decimals are decimals like 1.1 with a little dot on it. So this is what recurring decimals look like. 0.5 and then a little dot. And this dot represents infinite fives after the 0. And that's and we're gonna discuss how to do recurring decimals all in the next video. So, and the next video will be releasing next Saturday, if you're wondering. And just make sure to go, and if you're a bit unsure, just tap the little playlist on the bottom left of the screen and just go to lesson number 7, in which we'll talk all about recurring decimals. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this cool tutorial on how to do it. And if you thought that this video helped you in any way, make sure to like and subscribe so that we continue this series. Thanks for watching. Bye.